What's up, guys? This is DZTV's The 5-Hour Show. And today, we're going to a Japanese recycle market. Let's go hunting. A lot of clothes. A lot of knickknacks. Oh, it's got a missing wheel. Really bright today. あ、1万円。あ、OK、ありがとう。
少し猶予ください。時間ください。いいです。100円あとでいいんだよ。
And welcome back to the 5R Show. I'm your host, and this is Raymond's Robots, Reviews, Repairs, and Restorations. And this is what we found. Now, before we get started, I'd like to let you know that when I was making the flea market video, it was more of a test run, to be honest. That's why there's not a lot of good footage, and I apologize for that. But that would really tell you that it is authentic footage, that this is not a setup. I wasn't planting this, and no, this was a true find at a Japanese flea market. So again, I apologize for the terrible footage, but once again, at the 5-minute mark, 5:50, you can see the find. We also found a few video games, and there's a few knickknacks here and there, but my point is that the original flea market video was more of a test run as opposed to an actual official one, is what I'm trying to say. It was really unofficial, but it turned out to be official. I'd been wanting this item, this Japanese Fortress Maximus, for quite some time. I'd seen the original toy. I've had the RID version. But for some reason, especially when I moved to Japan, I'd always wanted, for as long as I'd been a collector, I think I'd always wanted a Japanese Fortress Maximus. It is a huge box. So today I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what happened, how it happened, and what we did. As well as show you what I got and what we paid for it. The day started off with the wife asking if I wanted to go to a flea market. And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So we both hopped on our bicycles. We went up to Shinjuku, and there's a park, and we went to the flea market there. It was a nice sunny day, and yes, it was actually during the Corona outbreak. So, but we were wearing masks, so we were being very careful. As I was preparing to do the practice footage for the flea market, as you can see in the video, at the 5-minute mark, I was dumbfounded when I found this. I was not expecting this that day. It was a complete surprise, and it just threw me off guard the most. But there it was. So anyway, we got there, found it. The footage cut off because I thought I was recording, but I was recording on my cell phone. So I guess it turns off every so often, or runs out of like footage time or something. But I thought I was recording, I wasn't. So anyway, what's there is there. I apologize again. But I got this. We opened it up. I opened it up, and yes, it's missing parts. But if you can see from the footage, it's in Japanese. I asked the person next to, I thought it was one whole vendor, but I think it was two different stalls. I asked the vendor next to this vendor's, I said, how much is this? Assuming she was the vendor, and she said she didn't know. A vendor that was close to them had yelled out, "Oh, that's $100." He said, "Okay, well, all right, thank you." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll come back and talk to the dealer when I see him." And so, sure enough, I went a little far away, but not too far, so that I was trying to see if I can catch the dealer. Maybe he went to get a cup of coffee or something. As soon as he came back, I hurried on back, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey, what are you asking for this?" In a low tone, very quietly, made sure no one was watching us. And the man said he wanted sanzen, which is literally $30. And so that's what I paid for this, $30. Yes, it's a jackpot find. I'm lucky to have it. It is something I've been wanting for a while. It's not perfect condition. It's not complete, but it is what it is. And it's actually cool this way. And yeah, it's missing parts, but I'm not going to lose it. I'm an ex-collector, but, you know, still. This piece is the biggest transformer that was ever released in the G1 line. It is a very nice piece. This particular one is missing parts, like I mentioned before. It is missing sticker sheets, and it is missing a major part, which is Cerebros, the head. So, without further ado, before I do that, I'm going to turn the box around so you can take a look at the artwork. And as you can see clearly, that is the back of the box. Now, because this is one of the biggest boxes that was released in the G1 line, obviously this is the largest piece of artwork for the Headmaster series on the back of the box. And as you can see, you can almost see clearly where other parts are cut off on other toys. But this particular piece the art is just, it's nice. So nice to see the art. Another thing that caught me off guard was the fact that the box, as torn as it is, and as, you know, it's really rough condition. If I had to give it a C condition, I'd say a C4, a C3, honestly. But it still had the robot points at the bottom. It had the Fortress Maximus tech spec. It even had a certain Cerebros data tech spec, or what looks like a smaller tech spec with Cerebros on there. So, but anyway, I was kind of happy that the box was intact. Now, aside from the box being rough but intact, the actual foam and the toy, there's issues with it, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. As you can see, the styrofoam insert is in really terrible condition. It is damaged, yellowed. It's a tad bit dirty. But the actual Fortress Maximus is in nice condition. Now, like I had said, the actual head of Fortress Maximus was missing, so I did manage to pick up an RID head in some of my trips. I'll plug that in there so it doesn't look kind of strange to you, as well as pull this out of the foam for you. And there it is. Now, Cerebros was missing, but again, like I said, it came with the 2 ramps, came with both weapons, came with part of gasket and grommet, and it's missing an arm and maybe the gun, I believe. It did come, surprisingly enough, with the radar, and to my shock, it actually came with the smaller spike head, which was very surprising, very welcoming as well. As you can see, Fortress Maximus has no stickers. So I suspected that the sticker sheet may have been with the sword parts and the little guns and a few other things. So wherever that ended up being is, well, left to the mysteries of the cosmos. But anyway, Fortress Maximus does have its double waist barrels, cannons. It's got all 6 limb cannons. And the elevator and the ramp and the antenna rotating gimmicks actually do work fine. Now this again is an original Fortress Maximus, but it looked like it wasn't really used, but it is stiff. It's in stiff condition, but I don't know what the story is. So this is what I got. And again, once again, I got it for $30. So I cannot complain, you know? So, but anyway, when you do know your Japanese, if you study Japanese and you hit the flea markets and you come to Tokyo for the flea markets, especially later on when this Corona thing is over, maybe you can go hunting. And so again, I urge people that they should learn to speak the language if they want to come out here and find collectibles. Knowing the language and some of their traditions and you know, learning some of their ways will help when you're out and about hunting. When I asked in Japanese, and the person was really kind and everything, and she gave me the information she did. But from my past experience and my past dealings, I know that I should always ask the direct dealer. I know that I should ask the direct dealer in private. And the one mistake I made was not asking him if he had more, which was a major mistake. I should have asked if he had more. I should have asked if he had other parts or junk. And I also should have asked for his number. So I made that mistake. But again, we got what we got, and that's that. So I think that if you do come to Japan, if you want to go hunting to a local flea market, you can. You can find, there's opportunities all the time. Now, for me, as I said, I've been in Japan for 6 years now. I've been learning Japanese, and not just the hiragana and katakana, but some of the actual kanji, which is very difficult. Now, I am by no means an expert in the language. I am not fluent at all, but I have enough that I can get around with, that I can, you know, if I needed help or ask for directions, or if I needed to use a restroom or something, I have that ability. So it doesn't hurt to know, because in the long run, it will start rewarding you. So after a while, you know, this is something that I, as you can see in the video, I found it and I was able to act on it, and I got the Max here in good condition, as is, of course, but I was able to deal for it. So that's the story behind this thing. So again, this is not me bragging. I'm too old to brag. But if you learn the language, if you learn how to get around in Tokyo, if you know how to speak with people, people are more than willing to be helpful. It's just that they need you to communicate to them in their language. Transformers were made in Japan before they hit American store shelves. So it is very recommended that you learn Japanese if you want to do this, if you want to go out and hunt and look for things out here. Again, you can find them, but you need to be able to communicate with them, especially if you're on your own. See, I was lucky enough to have my wife with me in case I ran into a problem, but everything was fine. And we were able to close the deal, and I came home with this. Now, one last thing was that when I did purchase this, the logistics were difficult. Like I said before, we went to the flea market on bicycles. This is not something you really want to take around on a bicycle, but the logistics of it were difficult. When you purchase something, it is very recommended, of course, that you take it with you, especially something of this size. So I wasn't super worried that somebody would snag it before I could, but you never know. So when you do come across something in Japan that you really want, if you think too long, too hard, you might miss out. So when I saw this, of course, I jumped on it, and I did the best I could with what I had. And it ended up working positively for me. So again, thank you for coming to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this review on how to find something so cool like a Fortress Maximus at a Japanese flea market. So, in conclusion, I'd like to thank you for coming, for watching, and I hope you keep coming back because we have other projects in the works. They may take some time, but I'm trying to get them out. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and if you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. I hope you enjoy the show, and please come back for the next episode, whatever it may be. Now, I'm not going to be the kind that just likes to do the same thing over and over, but I do want to do all types of projects, not just reviews. So, once again, thank you, and I will catch you guys on the next episode of The 5R Show. Thank you. Have a good day. God bless. Alright, here's the bonus footage. For those of you still watching, here's your Easter egg. I've got a pair of red Fortress Maximus guns. The package is opened already, and so we're going to plug these in and see if they actually fit, if they're actually okay. And as you can see, they fit fine. Not super great, but they do okay. That looks pretty cool. Now, it's not the exact same color as the other red, but I like the nice cherry red. These were produced a while back, and I think they were for the RID, but they look really nice. They do work out. Makes it look nicer. So, once again, thanks for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the video.